Hi, this is Melanie Willis, and welcome to the Homeschool Show. So what do we have going on this week, Amanda?
I am so excited. It is one of my favorite weeks of the year. It is time for Thrive.
Yay!
We've been talking about it for, I feel like we talk about it and we work and we plan and all the things, and then now it's really here. I'm so excited.
I'm very excited. My kids are excited. I do have one that can't come this year, and he's really excited about next year. He's like, I'm going to be married, Mom. Can I still come? And I'm like, yes, please come. It's going to be awesome. So I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody and doing all the stuff. It's going to be great.
Yes. I was reminded today, I was at a local homeschool graduation ceremony, and I was reminded of probably my favorite thing about Thrive from a perspective of being around a lot of years. I've helped in a lot of different ways, but being able to see families from the very beginning of their journey, just thinking about it, or with their preschoolers or babies, just even kind of thinking, oh, maybe we'll get into this homeschool thing, all the way to graduation. And it's just like the culmination of all that work. And, it's just so beautiful to me. And I love it so much. I just can't even say. I have not enough words to say how much I love it. And so today we have a few videos for you that have some other people sharing things that they love about Thrive and why it's so important to them. And so I hope you all out there enjoy these words and from these various people as much as we did.
We at that point had just had our fourth child, and my husband had always been interested in homeschooling and thought that we should be homeschooling. And he decided that we should start by going to the Thrive Conference, which happens in Winston-Salem, which is where we live. And so we registered for the homeschooling conference. We took all 4 of our children, and at the end of it, I was all in. And we've attended every year since, and I have to say it's my end of the year kind of therapy session, I call it, because it answers the question of why. Why am I doing this? And the why has been different for each one of my children. But now, after more than 10 years of homeschooling, we still homeschool. I still go to the conference, and we all look forward to it. Even my child, who's 21 and getting married, already has the dates on his calendar because he loves to come back into town and participate with us. I think the book fair is excellent because my children get to interact with different people. Sometimes there are vendors who have written their own stories. And so we'll buy a new book that we would never find at Barnes & Noble. I love it because I get to ask specific questions of a curriculum company, get some information from them based on my students' learning style. Then we've also got the conference speakers. I have loved keynote speakers. I still have notes. I still remember specific things that I've been taught, things that have been, brought to mind from their speeches, and that's really encouraging. Sometimes it's really challenging, but then you also have some of the talks are equipping me as a mom to run my household. And how do I do that? How can I structure my family so that we can keep the house clean, we can keep everybody fed, and we can school at the same time? And so some of it's very practical, and some of it's just a real encouragement with a community that's like-minded. And you can just ask questions of other people that you bump into, and sometimes you end up having the most profitable conversation with another attendee. And so I love it all.
Okay, well, my name is Rhonda Cornwell. I'm from the outside of Charlotte in a rural area called Shelby, North Carolina. and I'm actually a physical therapist. I work part-time, but I also homeschool my daughter.
My name is Bria Cornwell, and I am a senior, so I'm currently living with my mother. And my desire is to be a creation scientist, which is one who communicates the abundance of evidence that the God of the Bible created the universe, and it was not the Big Bang Theory and macroevolution that is the origin of humanity. And I'm extremely passionate about this because of the teaching that my mother has given me. And this teaching has come so much from the Homeschool Conference because she was first exposed to worldviews, the importance of how you think affects what you do and your place in the world in comparison to other people.
The Homeschool Conference impacted me personally because it educated me on, not just on how to homeschool math and finding curriculums in English and maybe exploring some colleges. I think the most important thing that the Homeschool Conference taught me was all about today's culture, where the culture is headed, apologetics, creation science, worldviews. It didn't only teach me, but it taught her, because my husband and her would go to some of these breakout sessions or some of these teachings while I was doing something else. And not only that, I would purchase some of the materials, the books, the CDs of the lecture, and then I would listen to them in my car to learn about, for example, transcendentalism, postmodernism, ideas that are taking place, that are being pushed upon our young people in our culture today, so that we see things through a biblical worldview, and we can behave with truth and respond accordingly, according to the way that God would want us to. There are a variety of activities that take place at the conference that are just so wonderful. I mean, they have a large dance in the evenings and then a game night in the evenings. And something else that was very wonderful was that they had provided kind of breakout sessions for local areas. For example, the Charlotte area in North Carolina. Well, we went into this room and there were only maybe 6 people there. And we met one of my daughter's best friends who, in 8th grade, we have stayed in contact with them ever since 8th grade, and her mom and I are good friends, and so we would have never met them had it not been for the NCHE Homeschool Conference, and then the effort that they take to provide opportunities for meeting other people and for just kids having fun in a large group setting with each other.
And it has been extremely encouraging and refreshing for me to be a part of that community because with that homeschool conference, because I'm so used to being around phone-addicted kids who don't care about communicating, who don't care about God, who don't have that same passion that I do. And so it's just been a wonderful, very refreshing experience.
It is refreshing. Every time that I went to that homeschool conference, I came back all pumped up and ready to go. And not only, when I say ready to go, it wasn't just in my mind with what to do, like thematically or conceptually. It was also the vendors that they have, with hundreds of vendors there. I would go there and actually pray. Remember the time I prayed? I was concerned one year about what I was going to do with science for her, and I was praying that God would show me which curriculum to use for science. And I was walking down the vendor hall, and I saw this picture of this big moth on this one lady's booth, and then she had told me that
I had seen a live moth with my dad and communicated that to her, and it looked about identical from what I remember to that big picture of that moth on that booth.
Well, I know, I just got excited when I saw the picture of that moth because I had been praying and there was some connection with a moth, and I went in there and the curriculum was Nancy Larson Science, and it was perfect for her. But the point is, I never would have known about it if I hadn't gone to NCHE. I wouldn't have known. I mean, I learned so much, not just about worldviews, culture, apologetics, creation science that I passed on to her. It was, what am I going to do? What kind of curriculums am I going to use? What am I going to actually do?
And so then the experience that I got from that curriculum that was perfect for me, that she found through God in that vendor hall, now I desire to be a creation scientist and properly communicate that information that I learned from that science curriculum.
also at this conference, they have breakout sessions where you'll have leaders that have already been through homeschooling, and they will talk about the how-tos, like how do you get started homeschooling? How do you homeschool the younger little kids, and how do you work through the logistics of high school? And which we haven't experienced this, but they also have a graduation ceremony, and they also have a talent show. So what I started alluding to before was that I would come back from these conferences and just be pumped. I'd have everything I needed to know, or I felt like I did, and I did, because now I'm looking at it in hindsight. I can't imagine homeschooling without going there. I can't imagine it. It was so helpful. So it's a big weekend. It starts in the morning and it ends late at night, and it's just so much fun and so informative, and it's really changed our lives. I mean, it really has. And it's definitely changed the trajectory of her life, given that she wants to be a creation scientist, because there were so much apologetics that we learned there from all those, I don't know if it's just nation known or world renowned speakers that they have there every single year.
Welcome to Thrive, the NCHE Homeschool Conference where families grow, connect, and thrive together. Join us May 22nd through the 24th in Winston-Salem for a weekend filled with inspiring speakers. Explore a bustling vendor hall packed with quality homeschool resources and curriculum. Discover opportunities at the college fair designed to help students plan their future. Empower your team with fun and educational activities and connect with supportive homeschool communities. Don't miss the opportunity to equip, encourage, and connect. Register today at nche.com/thrive.
That's wonderful. I'm excited. I can't wait to see everyone there. I can't wait to I feel free when I'm there. I feel really light, and it's just so much fun. I enjoy it.
It really is. It's like you're with your people. It's like, these are my people, and I love it. It's so much fun and just wonderful.
It is.
So this is the end of season 4. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're already here. The end of season 4 of the Homeschool Show. And I just want to thank all of you out there, you watchers and listeners, all of you that have subscribed, that have sent us feedback, that have given us ideas. We appreciate you so much. And it is our joy and our pleasure to help you homeschool with confidence and joy. And my family just came in the door.
Confidence and joy. Boom. Got
Exactly. We might just have to end it right there.
There you go. I didn't hear anything, by the way. So it was.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
I know
heard
the
nothing.
microphones do a good job. I just was like, oh no.
Yeah. Very good.
All right. You think that's good? We can.
Yeah.
Do we need to say anything else?
No.
I think that's okay.
I think it's great.
All right.
Bye. I'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye. I'll see you in a few days. I can't believe it. All right.
Bye.
Bye.